Welcome back to the Relationship Mentors podcast, episode 21. And today is going to be a little bit different. We usually talk into people in a relationship, but such a big part and so many DMs we get every single day is in context to dating, how to get into a great relationship. So in this episode, we're going over the 3 things each of us would do if we wanted to get into a great relationship if we were single. And before that, we'll have a little catch up from the week.
Yeah, that sounds
First
great.
week from announcing pregnancy. It feels really nice, doesn't it?
It does feel really nice, like launching it on Instagram and just announcing it to everyone. We had so many like amazing messages. I was like, oh, everyone's just so nice, which has been great.
Yeah, we sat here and the messages were coming through like, oh, everyone's so nice.
Everyone's just so
and fully
nice.
receiving. That was so nice.
Yeah, and getting to like read the comments as they were coming in, or the messages. I'm like, wow, this actually feels really nice of like how excited everyone else is for us as well, which is really sweet.
Yeah.
So a little catch up from the week. It's feeling really good. Like I'm 14 weeks now, which is great. So I'm into the second trimester. I'm starting to feel a lot better with the morning sickness. Since the first trimester, I was laying in bed a lot. So the fact that I'm getting up and I go for like a 5 or 10 minute walk, or I'm going to the shops, or I'm like singing and socializing with friends now.
You can make food without throwing up.
Yeah, I can like make food. Like I made Charlie breakfast this morning, and then 2 hours later he made me breakfast. But it just felt like when I gave Charlie the breakfast, oh my God, it actually feels so nice that I can do this again, because I do love like getting to make people food and like, so I was gonna say serving other people, but just like, you know, like food is just so good. Like I love eating. So I love when I get to make food for other people as well. And so that overall just feels really good to know that I still feel nauseous and still feel sick throughout the day. However, it's only a percentage of my day now. It's not feeling like that 24/7. So I feel so, so grateful for that. And
Do you feel back to normal, or can you not remember what normal feels like?
something that I keep saying to Charlie is like, I feel like if I had a day that I felt like this before falling pregnant, I would feel like I wasn't okay. Like I feel like my body would be telling me, okay, like something's happening. You really need a rest and like take care of your body right now. But now, since I've experienced the first trimester morning sickness and how horrendous that was, I feel a lot more like myself than I did for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Which feels great, especially getting like my mum came down for the weekend. And that was just so nice, just getting to spend time with her. However, I can really feel my energy if I'm doing too much all at once. Like my energy really is getting drained. Like today, she came down Friday night, and it's like Sunday midday, and she's just gone home. And I just felt like, I said to Charlie, like I can really feel like I've been pushing myself to do things, even that we just like went to the beach and
nothing too strenuous.
Yeah, we've done nothing strenuous. However, I was like, I really just need to relax this afternoon, and we have a friend that's just come down from the Sunshine Coast, and I was like, okay, Charlie can catch up. I just really need to honor my body right now and rest. And so I think that's the thing that I'm learning, of like getting to do all the fun stuff and socializing, because I miss that so much, and actually having a desire to do that again is really nice. And at the same time, still listening to my body and not pushing myself too much.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so that was really long, but that's my update. I'm feeling great. Like feeling really good now. I don't
feel like mine will be as long.
And then how are you feeling? Well, what's your update? Catch up.
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling, the start of the week I was feeling very confused with business stuff and where we wanted to take that. There's so many different directions. It's like we're great at generating traffic and we want to really create this impact in the world. And there's so many different things we could help people with in so many different ways, that the choice paradox is unbelievable. Like when you got so many options, it really can paralyze someone in the sense of not taking action. And I felt like I was just in this void of not taking any action because I didn't know what action to take. But yesterday, the last few days, I really freed myself up to allow different options into my business of what I'm wanting to take on. And yesterday took on a client, and it was less about relationship stuff. Well, it wasn't really anything about relationship stuff. It was mainly around business and social media and a little bit of mindset stuff around that, which I was like, I'm actually really excited for a bit of a change in business. So taking on a client like that and being able to coach on different topics for a little bit is very exciting. So it feels nice to scratch that itch and really go down that direction.
100%. And especially for the people that have just found us as we've been doing relationship coaching. Both Charlie and I have our certificates in like mindset coaching and like neuro-linguistic programming. And before we became relationship coaches, Charlie was a male mindset coach. So it's really cool that you get to like bring that little bit back, as well as through growing our business, you've been able to grow your social media so much and your online presence so much, and grow that. You've really taken the front step of running our business. So it's really cool that we've gotten to a level where you get to teach people all the things that you've learned in that time, like the skills that you've just adapted and learned through experience. Which I
fucking
think is really
love
cool.
marketing so much. Like I remember being young and I used to read books on marketing all the time and copywriting and sales. I just used to read all these things for enjoyment. I had nothing to apply it to. But then when we started a business and we were writing sales emails and landing pages and creating courses and getting on sales calls and things, like they all came into work. And now being able to share those tools in other people's businesses really feel nice as well. Because this guy I took on, he's like an anxiety coach. So the impact he's creating in his business through having better tools to create better awareness of his product and of his brand, like that creates such a ripple effect.
Oh, 100%.
So it's like not just focusing on relationships, but being able to flex other areas feels really, really nice.
Yeah, and it's like freeing, like you said, like you're getting to be even like more creative with within coaching as well, because we have niched down to specifically relationships within itself. We can start saying the same thing with each different one-on-one client and things like that. So
it can feel repetitive sometimes.
Yeah, so it is really exciting for you to be able to do that.
And we've got an exciting project that's coming out soon, which we can't share yet, but that's in the works. So I reckon within like 6 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
I think mid-July, we'll be announcing that on socials. So keep your eyes open for that. That's going to be sick. So we're very excited. And yeah, on today's topic, 3 things we would do if we were single. Mia wrote down 3 things and I wrote down 3 things. So this will be really interesting to talk these out and see the differences between us.
Yeah.
Mia Cherry, what's your first one?
So my first one, and I feel like this is just such common advice, but I'll dive in deeper on what I specifically mean. So the first one that I wrote down was figure out what you truly want. So of course, it's so important for you to actually know what you actually want, not just in a relationship, but yeah, what type of relationship are you wanting? And the reason that I say this is that when I talk to even my girlfriends or talk to like female clients, when it comes to dating or relationships, they say that they want this particular type of person and they want a relationship that's like they're committed and that they have these really fun dates, and the other person's just wanting a committed long-term relationship. And I remember one particular person was sharing that's what she was wanting to put out there and attract and become an energetic match to that. However, she also kept attracting guys that weren't wanting a committed relationship and would message her like once every 2 weeks. It was very flimsy.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, then when she finally met someone that was wanting a committed relationship, like invested in her, had the most amazing dates, they had so much fun together, they got along so well, they just had so much chemistry. Yet she then realized getting to have someone that actually wanted what she claimed that she wanted, which was this committed relationship. She then realized, oh, I actually don't want that right now in my life. I thought I wanted it. So I said that, so she kept saying that, like, oh, I keep attracting these guys that are
And she's trying to brainwash herself into wanting that.
Yeah. As I keep attracting these guys that are non-committal, and she kept entertaining that. But when she finally got that guy that was so wanting to commit to her completely, she realized, oh, I actually don't want that right now in my life. And then so energetically, she was actually just wanting those not guys, but the guys that were just there for the moments. It's like here and there, but not fully committing to each other in that point of her life, which is completely okay. However, it's just so important for you to get clear on what you're actually wanting, because like I know when I met Charlie, I was genuinely wanting to meet someone that I could spend the rest of my life with, However, I was open to meeting people, but not being so serious that it's going to be my forever person. But if it was going to be a serious relationship, I needed to know that Charlie was in the serious relationship for the same end goal, to wanting to get to know each other better, to achieve the end goal together.
It just proves that what you think you want and what you actually want can be completely different.
Yeah.
So many people want specific things. They want a committed relationship, but they keep being on the energetic match of people who are just wanting flings, and they keep attracting this, and they think everyone else is to blame. It's like, why are guys so like this? Why are girls so like this? When it's like, actually, deep down, maybe you're scared of commitment right now. You're scared of doing this. You actually just want to have fun right now. So it's like, what do you actually want? So how do people tap into like finding out what they actually want rather than what they think they want?
Yeah. Before I actually answer that, another really good thing that you said on that. So I feel like there's also maybe some shame of not wanting to admit that you don't want a serious relationship, that you are wanting a guy in your life, but you're not wanting this committed relationship. So I think it's just making sure that you're choosing something that you actually want and not choosing it because you're ashamed to admit that you want the other thing.
Yeah, or you're trying to fit in with society's expectations.
Yeah.
You should be in this committed, monogamous relationship, but it's like, maybe that's not what you want.
Yeah, but I think it goes both ways. I feel like some people who are putting up with the flimsy guys, I just say flimsy guys, but it just means like the guys that come non-committal guys that come in and out of your life.
Tire kickers, I call them.
Yeah. But yeah, like some women are putting up with that when they are actually wanting a committed relationship, but they feel shame of wanting a committed relationship. Like I felt that in the past of not wanting to be in a committed relationship with this particular person, but wanting a committed relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you're with someone, you're like, oh, I want this, but this guy's not it, or this girl's not it.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, what do you do
but
then?
It's like fun for the meantime type of thing, which we will cover in the other points as well. But to answer your question on how do you actually become an energetic match?
Yeah, like how do you find out what you want how do you find out what you want instead of what you think you want? Does that make sense?
Yeah, my biggest thing is like the biggest thing that I've realized is sometimes you just need to experience it to realize that you want it or not want it. It's like the biggest thing is sometimes people are like, I don't know what I want. I don't know, like, but do you know what you don't want? It's like, do you know that you...
It's sometimes easier.
Yeah, sometimes it is easier to think about the things that you don't want. I know that I don't want a guy that only texts me once a day and like has no other communication apart from one text message a day. I know that I don't want that. I know that I don't want a guy that only like organizes a date once every 2 weeks. I know that I don't want that. Then once you look at what you don't want, start figuring out, okay, well, does that mean I do want a guy that maybe calls me every day, even if it is just for 5 minutes? Then maybe do I actually want someone that's organizing a date at least once a week or like 2 times a week to see each other? And sometimes even when you do write the things that you do want, it's for you to then experience that to see if you're truly wanting it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I've definitely, when I look back at my past relationships all the way from high school all the way up until now, it's like after you go through that breakup, right, there's always that thought of like, okay, like, hey, don't want a guy that does this. And you're like listing all these things that really annoyed you about this person that you just broke up with. Mm. And then you're like, okay, so that means I want a guy that does this, this, and this. And so then you write the list of the guy that you want next, or the guy of your dreams. And then you attract to the guy of your dreams that you've written on that list. But then since you've now experienced it, you realize, oh, that's actually not what I want. And I think that's just the joy of life, of getting to just discover yourself even more of the things that you do like and the things that you don't like. Because I, like 5 years ago, would have never believed that I would have liked a relationship where my partner financially supports us 100%. And that's the relationship that I'm in now.
Yeah.
Which is so great. And
which is so great.
Yeah, which is so great. Like I genuinely love that so much. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so appreciative of that. And I just know that myself so many years ago would have hated that because I would have been ashamed of it, which is really interesting.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, so it's just getting to like, you evolve more the more you get to know what you like and don't like. And the biggest things is to experience it, to actually notice if you do like it.
Yeah, and if you're younger listening to this, if you're in your late teens or early 20s, it's like you don't have to know what you want for the rest of your life right now. Your job right now is just to find what you want for the rest of your life. And it's okay to get things wrong. It's okay to jump into relationships and it not last. Like, it's okay to do that. It's okay to choose the wrong person. It's okay to mess up. But it's just like, don't sit there procrastinating. Actually figure out what you want for now. Do that, learn from it, and then go again if you need to.
Exactly. And I feel like we'll dive even more into those layers as we go on. But let's go on to your first.
My first point is figuring out what you want before getting into a committed relationship. Because if you're single now and you're wanting a committed relationship, it's like that relationship is going to last for the rest of your life, hopefully. Like, chances are that's what you're aiming for. So it's like, cool, before I get into that committed relationship, what is it I want to do while single? Do I want to go on a single trip around London? Do I want to go for a travel South America on my own? Do I want to go on a lad's holiday? Do I want to go on a girl's holiday? Do I want to sleep with some random people? Do I want some one night stands? Do I want some flings? It's like, what do you want before getting into a committed relationship? Because you can't do those things when you're in a relationship often. So sometimes people try and attract their dream relationship while they've got secondary gain, which means a second motive in their brain of, I'm not doing it because of this. So it's like, if you're wanting to get into a committed relationship, but actually you have this deep desire to travel and explore and have fun on your own and have this independence, then chances are you're not going to attract your dream relationship because you've still got that to settle. So it's like, what do you need to do, or what do you want to do before you get into a committed relationship? Even for Mia and I right now, it's like, cool, before we have a child, what is it we want to do while it's just the both of us? And as you move through these different stages of life, it's like, what do you want to do at each stage? Each stage gets to be great. Like, being single is great. In a relationship is great. Having a child is great. Being married is great. It's like, what do you want to do at each stage before you progress? So I feel like that's my first point.
I really love that. Especially, it's like, I don't know if this is true for anyone, but
Anyone but me.
Not even me. I just think like a great example is, it's like, if your dream relationship is where you're both really both so focused on your health, and you go to the gym together and you just have like this wholesome, healthy relationship, yet you know that in your 20s you're wanting to have the memories of going out drinking and getting to have that experience of going out drinking and being able to pick up a girl at a bar and like have those experiences. But you know that if you're in a relationship, you're not going to be able necessarily to go to the bar and then pick up a girl. You know?
I literally a guy messaged me who used to be an old client. He's like, mate, I think I found like my life partner. I think I found the one. He's like, what's your advice for me to not ruin this? I'm like, cool. So the biggest thing that ruins relationships, especially for men, is curiosity. When you still have this desire to sleep with other women and chase women and have those short flings while you're in a committed relationship, because then you can feel smothered, then you can feel controlled in that relationship and not have any options. And that's when you can fuck up a relationship. Like one time when you're arguing, when you're stressed, when you're feeling miserable, and there's that option there and you go for it and then you fuck up the relationship. I'm like, as long as you feel complete in not wanting to chase women in these short-term flings, like, you'll be great in that relationship.
Yeah. And I also think another big thing is like, some people have the desire to experience a threesome, for example, but they're not, when they look at their dream relationship and their dream ideal partner, they wouldn't want to have that experience with another person there. So it's like, if you have that desire, it's like knowing that you're wanting to have that experience, but you don't picture your dream perfect relationship, dream girl being in that dynamic or within that situation. It's like, okay, then if that's such a desire for you, like do that before investing into finding your dream partner.
I've got a really close friend who's a great relationship coach, and he was polyamorous, which means having multiple partners for years and years and years, like most of his adult life. And he did not believe in monogamy, so one partner. So he kept being polyamorous, dating a lot of people, having like 3 lovers at a time.
And he's great. Like
He's amazing.
He did it so well, so healthily. Like he's just a great coach, like relationship coach in that sense.
Yeah, and then he found the one. Like he found the girl of his dreams, and then he's like, "Fuck sharing a relationship with her with anyone else." It's like, I want her all to myself. Like I want to fully commit to this person. And now he's monogamous, so it's beautiful. It's like, what do you want to do before you get into a committed relationship? On that note, I've never seen a polyamorous relationship last the long term like that.
Yeah, and in saying that, like within that particular person that we're speaking about, he also got married and like had an open relationship, and so I feel like he's just done it so well.
He's done it all,
and it's like was for so many years open. Like he's just done it like so bad, like so well for him, like great. And yeah, what I have seen is that not that I know of, has been successful, or any open relationship has been successful for the long run.
That's a whole episode on
and
its
it's
own.
Also like each to their own. Like if you want
to explore that for a bit before getting into your committed relationship, like that's fine, go do that. But then if you find the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with, you want to have children with, chances are you don't want that person sleeping with other people or other people sleeping with the one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes people they have that desire when they're in a relationship and they're both open to it and they both experience that. And then, like I was saying with my point, it's like figure out what you want. And then even when you figure out what you want, you experience it and then you realize if you actually want it or not. And that's something that I do see within committed relationships that decide to open up their relationship and have someone else join for a night or any experiences like that then a lot of the time they both agree on it, they communicate it, they've done everything right and communicated really well, and then experiencing it, they realize at least one of them realize that they don't want it anymore.
Yeah, and it's okay to scratch itches.
Yeah.
Like if you have a strong itch in your relationship, you've been together 30 years and you really want to be a swinger now and you want to have these parties, you want to get into those groups. And like, cool, if you're both committed to that, go try that and then see how you go and then readjust from there. If you're like, fuck that, never again, cool. If you're like, oh, we actually really like this, say, cool, no judgment, just go into that.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
Cool. What's your second point, Mia Cherry?
My second point is why are you wanting a relationship in the first place? So this is my second point because I've realized that after talking to many women about wanting a relationship or like struggling to find a partner and really wanting to be in a relationship and finding their dream partner, etc., I ask them, why do you actually want a relationship? And sometimes you can realize that, oh yeah, because I want someone because I feel lonely, or like I want someone to keep me company, or I want to have those like fun experiences with them, and just really figure out why you're wanting a relationship in the first place. Because sometimes, or a lot of the time, if you've never asked yourself that question and asked yourself that question for the first time, you can figure out that you're actually expecting this person that you've never met before or this person to come into your life and fill up your cup, when in reality, you're supposed to be filling up your own cup. So for example, if you're feeling lonely within your life, where are you choosing not to be not socializing with your friends or your family where you could actually be socializing with them? Where are you holding yourself back from these fun experiences that you could be having because you're wanting to experience it with your dream partner? Like I was giving Charlie an example this morning of there was like a 2-year period where I was single, and I remember just thinking about wanting my dream relationship and dream partner. I think I was like 20 at the time, so it was many years ago now. But I would write a list of like cute date ideas of everything that I was wanting to experience, like cute dates of, going for a picnic at this place or going strawberry picking and like doing all these cute things. And then I realized, why am I waiting for my dream person to have this experience with? Like I could be doing this with a girlfriend right now. I could be doing this like with my best friends and other people and having these fun experiences and it being such a great time. My dream partner or my partner later on I can do that. But why am I withholding myself from this joy and fun experience that I know that I want to do and have, just because I was wanting this particular person that I had no idea even existed yet?
Yeah. And it's the subtle difference of, you shouldn't need to be with your partner. You should want to be with your partner. If you feel lonely and then you plug that hole with a relationship, you're dependent on that relationship for you to be happy. And anything you need holds power over you. And it makes you very brittle. Like it's very easy to upset you. And then you can develop anxious attachment styles and really hold on to that relationship so tight. You can get really insecure because it's so important for you, because without it, you wouldn't be happy. And then that's where you see insecurities, jealousy, worries, shit communication, arguments, trust issues. Like all this stuff comes from needing the other person. But if you actually want the other person and you're happy in your own life, the needy energy isn't there, and it doesn't cause half the amount of issues.
Exactly. It's like when I first met Charlie, I was in a point in my life where I genuinely felt so fulfilled. I was so happy with life. Like I was just having so much fun. Like business was thriving. Like I was spending every day with my best friends, going out for dinners and like parks and chats. And like I was just having, like, living my best life. Like I was just having so much fun. And then when Charlie came in, because we'd being with a girlfriend, like my best friend, she'd ask like if I'm talking to anyone, and it's like, do you actually know I actually forgot that I wasn't even talking to any guys because I was just having so much fun in life overall. And I'm not saying that has to be the case for everyone, of forgetting that you're not talking to any guys, but just making sure that you're filling up your own cup in every area, and that you're actually creating the life that you're wanting to live and making your life as fun as possible for you in particular, before even expecting that from your partner or expecting that to come from a relationship, because all of that is just coming from you. You are 100% responsible for the life that you're wanting to live and the life that you have created for yourself.
Yeah, baby. This is like advice you wish you had when you were really young.
Yeah.
Like 18, 19.
I will never forget the day that I like wrote that list of, I remember I like went out to the balcony. I was living on the other side of the Gold Coast, but still across the road from the beach, out on my balcony. And I had 2 pieces of paper. I think one, I don't necessarily remember, but I'm guessing it was like my dream person. And so I was like 20 years old. So it's many years ago now. And then on the other side, it was like cute dates ideas that I want to do. And now when I just picture myself writing, because writing your dream person I think is great, but writing the cute dates that I was wanting to experience with that person makes me feel so sad for that girl back then, because it's like she just wanted to be loved so much, but was holding herself back because she thought that the person would give her that fun, like to give her that fun life and to give her that, all of those, that fulfillment. Yeah. And I remember when I finished writing that, I'm like, oh, I could do this like with my best friend. I could do this with my sister, and that would be fun. Yeah. And I remember that was like the first time I had that thought of like, oh, I could do this with someone else. Like I could start doing this now. Like their dates ideas that I had wanted to do for years, but never did, because
you're waiting for a partner to do it.
I was waiting for this amazing dream partner that would do it with me, because at that time just weren't going to organize something like that.
It's like anything you need from other people, fulfill that for yourself.
Yeah.
And that removes the desperation energy from it. That removes the lack. And you actually come to relationships with a sense of abundance and a sense of, I want to be with you rather than I need to be with you.
Exactly.
And you're so clingy like that. Like I remember when I started dating and I felt so lonely in myself, I was just trying to distract myself from emotions from a breakup. So I was just not wanting to be alone. So I just go on random dates with people I didn't even like, just so I didn't have to feel lonely. And it's like, that is a recipe for disaster.
Oh, that sounds sad.
Oh, I'm okay now though.
Yeah, that's great. What's your second point?
My second point, if I was single and I was wanting a fantastic relationship.
I was like, fancy ass girlfriend.
I didn't know what word was going to come out of my mouth. I would put myself. So we hear of a lot of people who are single and they've been single for a long time, and it doesn't even feel like they're in the energy of dating, or they're not putting themselves in the right places to even have that change. Like if I was single, I would be in all the communities, like putting myself out there, not particularly like flirting with everyone, but just being that energy of being open and willing to receive female attention or male attention.
On that note,
yeah.
to interrupt, when Charlie's saying like open, like making sure that energy is open for those people that don't know how to open up their energy to allow someone to come and like speak to you or approach you, it really is just be approachable. Like if you're sitting there with a frown on your face and being very closed off and your body language is very like slouchy, closed arms, crossed legs and everything, that's not an approachable. Like someone will naturally read that body language and be like, okay, they look like they don't want to be spoken to right now. But if you're just like sitting with great posture, you seem happy and vibrant, and looks like that if someone came up to you and said hi, that you would actually be friendly and nice to them.
100%.
Like that is how you can be open.
Yeah, even going to the gym. If you're single, going to the gym, I wouldn't wear headphones. I speak to people in the gym all the time. If there's a guy there, I'm like, oh, I recognize him from social media. I'll walk up to him and be like, hey, like I do this all the time.
I love that you're like, this is how you meet someone. Don't wear earphones. I don't wear earphones, and I go up to all the guys in the gym.
I legit do. If I see like influencers or
like
businesses, yeah. Oh yeah. If I go up to like influencers or rich people in the gym, I always want to make connections. So me not having noise cancelling earphones in makes me approachable. I didn't consciously do that. I just unconsciously know, like, if I don't wear earphones, people are more likely to come and talk to me because I'm more approachable. I'm open. It's like the sign at the shop window. It's open. It's like, make yourself look like someone who wants the conversation and actually want a conversation. Because if you're in this group and you're socializing, be open, make eye contact, smile at people, start conversations even. But so many people just walk down the street. Like, I'm sure you walk past so many single people on the street that desperately want a relationship, but when you walk past them, they just stare at the ground, or they don't even look up and smile at you. Like they're not even putting themselves in the energy to connect with others, and they're just losing that practice.
And eye contact is a great way as well, because it's like eye contact.
It's an invitation.
Yeah, it's an invitation for someone to come up and speak to you. So it's like if you make eye contact, you smile slightly, and that's just like straight away they already know that, okay, if I was to ever speak to this person, they're going to be friendly, or like that was just a nice interaction.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Yeah.
Amazing. That was my point.
Excellent. And I also find as well, like on both ends, it's like there's some women or a lot of women that are wanting a relationship, but they're not putting themselves into the positions to find someone. It's like they're mainly spending a lot of time at home, and then they'll go to the grocery store and be like, okay, well, I've gone to the grocery store. No one came up to me in the grocery store. One, it's like we just spoke about the body language stuff, but it's also, it's like you need to be going out of the house more than just like the grocery store, or like go around where other people are, go around where you believe the man in it that you desire would be located. Like, is that at the beach? Is that at this networking event? Is that at this business thing?
Legit. It's like, who do you want to get with, and what do you need to do to get into those types of places?
Yeah.
If you're desiring someone that's super fit and they love going running on a Sunday morning, you're not going to find them in the club on a Saturday night. You're going to find them at the run club. You're going to find them at the yoga place. You're going to find them at the whole food shop.
You can find them in church.
You'll find them in church. Go to church. You'll find real great people. Pay a bit more for a gym membership and go to these fancier places if you want to meet someone higher value. Like all these basic things, like how can I make it logistically? How can I improve my odds so much that I'll meet someone that's high value and someone that I actually want to be with?
Exactly.
If you're just doing like the same thing every single day, never changing your pattern, going on the same walk every day, going to the same gym, going to the same walk, like you're not going to meet new people. So put yourself in different environments where new energy can come into your life.
Exactly. I love that so much.
Amazing. What's your number 3, Mia?
My number 3 is it gets to be fun.
I feel like this is your slogan for life.
Oh, just, yeah, for life, everything. It's like once, I feel like why it's my slogan for my life is there was a period of my life where I just felt like everything sucked for so many years. And I was just so over it. Like life just could not get worse than, I believe that life just couldn't get worse than it was at that point in my life. It's like if I just throw everything in the trash and just do anything that I want to do, like I can't end up in a worse place than I am right now. So then from there, I started to see improvements in my life because I actually started doing the things that I actually wanted to do. And then since I've just found so much success doing that, that I'm just so much more happier in life following that it's just my advice to everyone for so many different occasions. But particularly in dating, exactly, is like it gets to be fun. There was definitely moments in my life, and I see it with a lot of people as well, when they go on a first date, they project that like this has to be my person. Of like so over going on dates, like I want to find my forever person. I think about my forever person all the time, my dream guy. Okay, I'm going on this date. Hopefully they're like, yeah, hopefully they are this great guy. But it's like, don't put so much pressure on the first date. It's like the first date, it gets to be fun. Like dating someone, talking to someone, it gets to be so much fun. It's a new experience. You're getting to meet someone new, their values, their perspectives, the way that they see the world. Not only that, but you're getting to have a fun new adventure or a fun new experience. That's why it's like I always think first dates are such a great idea to do something. I say active, but it just depends on like to do something external of like, or even going to a new restaurant that you've never been before. So you're still getting to have a new experience with a new person. Like dating gets to be so much fun, and you don't have to put so much pressure on that first date.
I love that. You can use first dates as an opportunity to do new things. Like, oh, I've been wanting to go to this restaurant. I've been wanting to do this thing. I've been wanting to go for a walk here with someone. It's like, cool, do that on a first date.
Yeah.
It's like if the first date's shit, at least you enjoy the activity.
Yeah. And something that I really loved as well is some advice that I heard ages ago just from, I think it was just a friend, was saying that instead of seeing these dates as like, there has to be my forever person, just look at it as like, I get to meet this person and potentially get to meet their friends as well. So it's like you're just getting to experience different people and different dynamics. And especially I think getting clear or getting to see how other people view the world is so interesting, because sometimes you can realize that the way that you're viewing the world can be very pessimistic or very negative. And then you can hear someone have a viewpoint that's so beautiful and you're like, oh, like I'd love to adapt that viewpoint.
And it's networking at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is networking.
It's like, who do you know?
Who do you know?
Who can you put me in touch with? I feel that's powerful. Just putting yourself out there. And that really dives into my point as well. Like, get the reps in. That's my final point, which I think it really ties in with your point. Just get the reps in. Practice. It gets to be fun. Go on dates. Even if you don't like the person, it's okay. You're not going to die. You'll have another go.
Yeah.
And not putting so much pressure on it, like you said. And I feel like all these points really tie in together of just have fun with it. Don't put pressure on it. Feel complete within yourself. There's really not that much pressure. So it's like, see what you like. And it's so important to know what you don't want as well. So you meet people, you're like, oh, actually, I really don't like that type of guy. It's like, cool, I'll know that for next time. And then you can really figure out yourself through this journey as well. I feel like dating is such a big part in personal growth. It was for me anyway. Like going out dating, it really helped me improve my confidence. It helped me figure out what I was missing in myself. Like I was seeking all these things in female validation, in external praise, in attention from women. But I was like, fuck, where do I not feel complete in myself? Where do I feel needy in myself? So it's so important to use dating as such great personal development of what am I lacking in myself that I'm seeking in others? And how can I have fun with this? How can I learn from this? How can I figure out what I want? How can I figure out what I don't want?
I love that.
Yeah.
So my 3 points, just to recap, was to figure out what you truly want out of a relationship, and then ask yourself why you're actually wanting a relationship in the first place, to make sure that you are filling up your own cup. And then my last point was like, just make it as fun as possible for you. It doesn't have to be that serious.
And my 3 points were, before getting into a relationship, while you're single, what is it you feel like you want to complete? What is it you want to do? And then put yourself in the right places. Put yourself in the best odds to meet someone. Bring new energy into your life. And then get the reps in. Just do it. Learn from it. And you'll figure that out.
I love that.
Amazing. I think Mia has a question as well that got sent in.
So I'm just going to read out the question now. So he sent in, the dating scene seems pretty flaky these days. Lots of last minute cancellations and ghosting. Do you think dating has gotten more difficult recently, or am I overthinking it?
Is that from a guy or a girl?
A guy.
From a guy. Ooh, do you think women are worse than men at ghosting?
My first thought to that was yes. I feel like both are experiencing the same thing.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
I know when I was in the dating scene or on a dating app, I wouldn't respond to anyone because I personally just didn't care enough to respond. It's like for example, I was only on a dating app because it gave me that validation of I personally wasn't wanting to meet anyone or my dream partner on a dating app. And I knew that the next relationship I was in, I wanted it to be my forever person. So I wanted to make sure that the way that we met was important to me. And so I knew that I didn't want to meet them on a dating app, yet I was still on one dating app because it was nice validation, because I would receive very nice messages from guys. And it was it just gave me that validation of okay, I am wanted, I am desired, because it's easier. It is just an easier way to get that validation than off the streets from people that aren't really talking to you all
and
the
there's
time.
3 times as many men on dating apps as there are women.
Yeah.
So it's men, a 2 out of 10 woman will get way more DMs and way more likes and way more contact on social media on dating apps than a 10 out of 10 guy. Women, women's dating apps and women's DMs are just flooded with guys. And I don't know, it's because there's so much, men are expected to go first. Men are expected to always reach out first and make the first move. Whereas women can do that too, can't they?
Exactly. So it's my answer to that question is it does suck, but it's also perceptual positioning the other person that you're reaching out to. It's why are they even, if it is on a dating app, for example, because you said messaging them and they're ghosting you or just flaky canceling last minute, is I know for myself, and I don't know if this could be different for other people, but I wasn't on a dating app to actually meet anyone.
There's probably a lot of women in the same position.
Which sounds so counterproductive or whatever, but my reasons I was on a dating app was actually so selfish and had nothing to do with any of the guys that I would match with, or if they messaged me, I may, if I felt like it, respond once or twice, but then I just wouldn't care. And I didn't give the courtesy enough to share that information with them. It was just oh, that was nice to boost my ego a little bit and go on. That was just a pure honest reason there.
Yeah.
So that's one part. And the other point, we're talking about something and I don't remember what my second point was.
Yeah, I can go on for a bit. Maybe it'll come back to you. So I feel it doesn't have to be as hard in this modern day. People are so connected. It's so easy to find people now. The people who are single are on dating apps. Either go there or approach people in real life. Put yourself in the right places to actually meet the people you want to get with. Start the conversations. Learn to be confident. Learn to start approaching people. It's not hard to get yourself in the environment where you could find someone. So I feel it would be an excuse if, yes, there is more ghosting now because it's easier, but I don't feel it's harder, to be honest. Maybe it's harder to find a committed relationship because there are so many options out there now, and people can get distracted and people can run away from a committed relationship. But in terms of dating and finding someone and getting into that motion, it's I don't feel it's harder.
I also agree. I don't believe that it's harder. I also do believe more people are opting out of even trying. Does that make sense?
There's so many people who are single that aren't even trying.
Exactly. So I remember my second point now. So on the guy side of things, right? Or both sides of things, there's so much distractions out there. Instagram, there's so many attractive females, males on that platform that it can give you the illusion that there's all these options. But just because you see this person on Instagram doesn't mean they are an option for you to date them. So that's a very big illusion that does occur just automatically, which is really sad. But then also it's the porn addiction, OF, how popular that has become so instantly. There's people are getting their sexual satisfaction from those apps rather than actually pursuing a pure intentional connection with a partner. And so that's one thing. You said a comment before of women really expect men to take the first step initially.
Yeah.
And it's like, but women can also do that. And I think that's also a massive thing as well. I believe women really are copping out of making the first move. And the first move can be so different. I think they just believe, or a very common thing that I see on social media or people saying, is that it should be a man making the first move. It's like, it's courteous.
So many rules, isn't there?
Yeah, it's like, but it's like in reality, even in history, women did make the first move. They like dropped their handkerchief. They like made those like fluttery eyes at the guy, or they smiled at the guy. They invited a man in by their body language and by their social cues. However, women these days aren't doing that. They are
They're just staring at the ground.
Yeah.
Like so many women don't even want to look up and make eye contact with the guy.
Yeah, there are so many ways that a woman could be making the first move. Yes, they could be making the first move of going up to the guy and, you know, hitting on them or giving them her number. And
you can hit on a guy in a feminine way, can't you?
Exactly. It's like you can go into like how the guys do it in a masculine way, or you can do it. Hey baby, how you doing? How you doing? Or you could approach a guy or just give them those signals of being approachable and actually flirting with them. And there's so many ways that women can be making the first move, yet what I've just seen as like a massive movement is women have just opted out of that. They've just said it's a man should be coming to me. I'm going to sit at home and do my own thing, and a man's meant to come and find me. I have had so many conversations with women, girlfriends, that have that belief. There's like, oh, a man's meant to find me. But it's like, no, you're meant to be putting yourself in those positions. You're meant to be giving that approach that you are open. You are meant to be putting yourself out there and making the first move. It just looks different sometimes.
Yeah, shoot your shot.
Yeah, 100%.
I used to work in a restaurant in Brisbane, and then you used to get like random numbers, not random numbers, like make eye contact. I'd be working as a waiter, and then as they pay, they give me their number. And sometimes I'm like not interested whatsoever. And sometimes
I feel like I would do that if I saw you in a shop.
Oh yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
And that is so like, it made me feel so good. So like women shooting their shot at a guy, like slip them your number, make eye contact, smile at them across the restaurant or the cafe. Like that makes a guy feel so good. So it's like, why not do it? If you are interested in a guy, why not make that eye contact? Why not slip him your number? Why not be cheeky? Why can't you play and be flirtatious in that energy?
Yeah. I've even had experiences where like when you're driving a car and like if you're in traffic lights and you're sitting beside another car, like even just like waving at the person next to you, like being cheeky that way. Like there's so many times in life that you get to flirt. One of my other favorite quotes is flirt with life. It means something else, but also just like in everyday, in a dating scenario, just flirt with everything. Like it just gets to be so much fun.
You're not a whore if you flirt with everyone.
Yeah.
Like if you're single and you're going out there and you're walking by people, just smile at them. Just practice flirting with people.
Yeah. And it's like you were just saying, like Charlie was just saying, it makes the other person feel great. Like when you do it, like it doesn't have to be super aggressive flirting, but it's like a slight flirt or like a slight like cutesy like laugh. That sounded really gross. So I just meant like just like flirting with someone so lightly and playfully. That's what I meant, playfully.
Yeah.
Like it just makes the other person feel great, and then you can see their body language open up and just feel great. Like even if they are in a relationship or they're just not even interested in you at that point, it just does the person's day a little bit brighter and like happier. And then you getting to even witness that makes you feel even confident.
And then you're just vibrating at a higher frequency of love and fun and authenticity. You're being yourself. You're not scared of judgment. You're just approaching people. You're having fun. You're winking at people if you want. Like you can do all these things, and people want to be around people like that. Like people want to be around high vibe people. If you're low vibe and you're staring at the ground and you're always worrying and you always expect the other gender to make the first move, it's like chances are no one's going to approach you. So it's so important to actually raise your vibration by being open, by being fun, by being joyous, by being confident.
Has a girl ever winked at you?
Winked?
Yeah. I'm just trying to like when I picture someone winking as flirting, I just see men.
That's so old fashioned, isn't it?
I love it. I think it's just so sweet when like because
I've had girls wink at me.
oh wow.
Wow.
But I just think I think like since it's such a rare thing, I don't know. I feel like some people can find it weird, but like if it's like just cheeky and funny, I love it. I think it's just like so funny because they're just like, nah, like I got you. Like, does that make sense?
It's just like not even in a dating sense. When two people know what's going on, like you read each other's mind, you look at each other, you just wink. Like it's such a good.
I even remember, just like in your group conversation and you're chatting, and then the other
you're
person
winding
just,
one person up.
Yeah, like when you're winding one person up, and then the other person just like winks at you and like, okay, we're like, it's just like a wink of like, we're on the same page. Like, yeah, I got you.
That feels so good, like that connection piece there.
I feel like a wink is such a like, yeah, I got you, which I think is sweet.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever winked at someone.
Not in a dating sense. That'd be so creepy. Yeah. Anyway, that was our advice with if you're single and you're wanting to desire a great relationship. Like there's such a trend at the moment with I want a guy who's 6'5" in finance, blue eyes, finance.
Just goes to show that you haven't watched it.
I have not watched that.
But you did say the right things. It was just in the wrong order.
It was the wrong order.
Yeah.
I hear it from other people. I've never watched it myself.
I walk around the house singing it. It was great.
Yeah, you walk around the house. Hey, that's such a trend now. Like there's so many women out there, especially that desire a high value guy, a traditional guy, but they just can't attract that. So it's like, I hope this episode really helped with that. And the thing we've got coming out soon will really help that as well and get you in the environment of other high value women to really learn these things and share each other's knowledge and build connection and grow together in that space.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun through this episode. It was like love. I love love so much. And especially when I was in this period of my life, which felt like forever of like the dating or single and like seeing, like going on dates with people. I feel like most of my life has been that. And most of my experience through relationship has been going from expecting a guy to make my life suddenly so much fun. So I feel like I've gone through each one of these steps that I just love speaking about it because I'm like, yeah, this is my element. I spent years talking to my girlfriends about this.
This is my element. Yeah, this is just girl chat.
Yeah, I love it. Love it so much. Not gossip, just chats.
No, it's not gossip. Thank you so much for listening. We really enjoyed that. And it's cool talking into more of the dating thing. We spoke a lot about interrelationships over the last 20 episodes. So it's cool we're opening up to this as well because there is such a demand for people to get into great relationships. So we're really passionate about this. And yeah, we're going to be speaking more into it in the future.
I love it. I hope you guys loved it as much as we did and have a great week. And we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.